Welcome back, everyone. I'm Wildman Ben, and you're watching Bigwood's Survival Mode. Welcome to episode 2, the importance of a good knife. So, in episode 1, we took inventory, and one of the things that I brought with me, that I never leave home without when I'm going in the woods, is a knife. So this knife is a Mora Light My Fire knife. This is a great survival knife. It is extremely sharp. It holds an edge very well, and in the butt of the handle, it has this, which is a aluminum alloy rod. And what I can do with the back side of my knife, so I don't dull the blade, is I can make sparks from that, and that can help me start a fire. I'll cover that. I'll cover fire making starting another video. So, a good knife with a sheath, I like those the best, is a very great survival tool. One of the best, I would argue. So with a knife, there's many different things you can do. And I'll be using this in just about every single one of my videos. So, for caring for a knife, you want, when you're not using it, always either fold it if it's a folded knife, or sheath it. And keep that on your hip. And whenever I'm in the woods, I always bring one because you never know when you'll need it. I can whittle things, I can whittle sticks. This knife is sharp, so it can whittle quite well. That's good for making fires, for making tools, and all sorts of things like that. I can use it in my shelter building. It's a great knife for everything. So, a good knife is always something to bring with you. Second, a good knife is good for protection. Now, when you're in the woods alone, well, you're not going to be alone. There are animals out there, and some might want to take your food or harm you if you get in their way. So a knife is always a good thing to use as a protection, and it can help you in forming other things for protection as well. But it's always important to remember never to use a knife on anything living unless you absolutely have to. So I'm not going to be using this knife to cut anything living, tree or animal, in this entire series. Alright, now let's talk about knife usage. So if I'm whittling a stick, I unsheath my knife, and I'm not going to point the blade towards me at any time. When I'm whittling things, say if I want to strip the bark off, I'm going to grip it by the handle. I might put my thumb over the top or on the side. I'll put it on the top for now. That gives me a little bit more control. And I'm going to hold it away from me and push it along the stick, just like that. And this is a very sharp knife, so I don't need to push very hard. Now, say I wanted to use the knife to cut something bigger. I'm gonna go get a bigger stick. Here we go. This is pretty big. I want to make this good for fire. So, what I'm going to do is called batoning. So I'm going to stick it like that. I'll tilt the camera so you can see. And I'm going to put my knife right there, like that. So then I'm going to take another part of a stick, like that. I'm going to hit it like that. So batoning is good to use for knives that have what's called a full tang, which means the blade goes all the way through to the hilt, or to the end of your knife. So then it doesn't break or hurt the knife. So, if you notice, I have a part of the knife poking out the other side. That's the part that I'm hitting, so I'm going to put it, when I put it in, I'm going to put it a little bit closer in towards the hilt. Now I've gone most of the way down, so I'm going to take my knife out carefully and sheath it. Now I can break this apart. Here we go. There's one piece. Here's the other. Good for firewood. Say I want to make this a little bit smaller, but I don't want to just take strokes at it. So what I'm going to do, I have this log here. I'm going to use the same stick I used for batoning. I'm going to put my knife in against the grain so it'll hold better. I'm going to tap the butt in so the knife holds pretty well in there. Now I'm going to put my hand on it to keep it steady, and I'm going to draw against it like that. That produces large wood shavings, larger than if you were using it just with your hand, to take more off of the wood. Now it's a lot thinner. And I have lots of wood shavings, larger than if I would have used it the first way, like this. So that's some knife tips for usage.